had almost 60 books in my physical TBR. I specified these two bookshelves for my physical TBR, but then I ran out of space, which is a common problem of mine. So before cleaning this space and this, I thought why not come here and show you guys my physical TBRs and see if we have any similar books in our TBRs or something that we are going to read, and if it's something you're interested. Hi, my name is Nazanin and here we discuss books. Most of the books I have on my physical TBR have a story of their own. I mean, I have a library membership and I'm really comfortable reading books on my phone. So if I buy a book, I really have a solid reason for it. By the way, why not count the books I have and see how many of them are here and how many I should go through? Hopefully until the end of this video. So the deal is, if we have something similar in our physical TBR or the pile of the books that we already read, we can be book besties. Disclaimer, a neighbor of ours are doing some sort of construction, so if you hear any noise, I'm so sorry about it, and let's go. Martian. Perfect movie, therefore I had to buy the book. And also, what do you think about the cover? Lost for Life, which is a biography of Van Gogh, and I love everything that is Van Gogh. I have two puzzles, not one, but two more. I already read the letters. I also have a mini scarf of Starry Night, and yeah, naturally I should have it. Capitalist Realism by Mark Fisher. This is a series in my country actually, and it was the cheapest one in the series, so I had to buy it. Who am I? If so, how many? It has insanely high rate and Goodreads, and also social media made me buy it. Correspondence. This is actually the love letters of Como and Maria Casares, and it's vol 2, and it's also signed by the translator. I already talked about my love for Como, Robinson Crusoe. It's pillow-like, and I like that. It took forever to ship it, and if it wasn't some sort of reputable company, I would think it was. Not Born Yesterday. It's from a French author, and one of my followers insists me on reading it, and I keep postponing it. I don't know why. Amir Kabir and Iran. The only reason that I don't read this book is because it's historical, and also it triggers my big book fear. Speaking of which, look at this. It's War and Peace. English is not my native language, okay? And I bought this. It's a Russian literature novel, and it's written in English with accents and quotes in French. Like, can you imagine? I don't think I can go through this book anymore soon, but look at the bookmark. It's so cute. Aura, Sensible, or The Last Reason, and End of a Mission. These are the books that my friend Shadi has bought for me, and the reason she bought this for me is because she had really struggles to add reading to her routine, and therefore we came up with this challenge that we have to read at least half an hour. Back then I used to read on my books app, and I wouldn't miss a day, so she had to buy me these books within a limited budget, and that's how we are friends now. So if you want to be friends with someone, go and have a book challenge with them. Easy. These two books are my student's gift for me. He asked me for English book, and I gave him this book, and then he finished the book before me, and when I told him that I haven't even started, he said I can keep these books because he already had multiple of them. He also gave me these butterfly stickers, which I love. Also, this book, The Bay of Angels, is a book that I randomly picked from the town I studied in university in as a souvenir, nothing much. Also, it's Penguin. It's another reason that I was influenced by it. Read by a Russian author, and it's a short book. It's a high school friend gift. This is a book from Eric Fromm that I haven't read it, but I have so much high hopes for it. And if you don't know who is Eric Fromm, you can watch this video and this video here. It's also a gift from one of my colleagues who boosted my reading taste a lot. Coming, it's my cousin's and I have to read it and return it to her. Coffee break. Also, it matches my shirt. Sapiens. I always have troubles with travel mugs. Once I had this Harry Potter book that I borrowed from a friend. It was on my bag and some coffee spilled on it because it was unprotected, which is unlike of me. But anyway, and then I came up with this genius idea that I can replace it without her noticing. So I went to this place in the capital of my country, which is full of books, and I searched every publisher and bookstore for something like this, and they said all that they are out of stock. And I somehow managed to find it before I have a mental breakdown, and I bought Sapiens as a prize for myself. Belger by Phoebe Plath. No explanation needed. I think it just fits my vibe. I found this bookmark in the bell jar, which I lost, and I'm happy to find it, and it also matches my shirt. Shrinks. I like to know about the history of psychology, but I also hate it, if that makes sense. Modern Europe history. It's an impulsive buy actually, and the reason is I already bought Che Guevara's biography, but then I found that it's mostly pictures, and I returned the book and I got this instead. Marina. My goal is to have all of Carlos Safon's book in physical form. Currently, I'm 4 books behind. Courage to Suffer. This one has actually one of a kind story behind it. I was outside of the court and I wasn't permitted to get in, so I was waiting for my permission. Then some random guy came and sat next to me and asked me what I was reading because I was bored, and I got my book out of my bag. This random guy sat next to me and asked me what I was reading, and I told him I'm reading Das Zarathustra from Nietzsche. And he told me he was reading the book from Erwin de Alon, When Nietzsche Wept, and I was like, yeah, I've read it. He said he had a niece or nephew studying in Russia, and he said that they recommended this book to him, and he's recommending that to me. And I said, yeah, I would look for it. And then he needed to leave, but before leaving, he came up and asked me what book I would recommend to him. And this last sentence made it one of the most weird and strangest interactions that I've ever had. Karamazov Brothers. Seller claimed that it's a real classic. I'm skeptical, but also sold. The Unbearable Lightness of Being. I love Milan Kundera and I wanted to read this for the longest time, but the translated version was so expensive, so I need to buy an English version with a discount. Seneca. I was getting into philosophy and I bought this, but then I realized that plays aren't really my cup of tea, or maybe I don't know how to read it as if it's a thing. So if you know any tips to read plays, let me know. Comment down below. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I started reading this in my native language and English, but the first few pages are really boring. In the train, I'm not really into crime novels, but this is a chance I'm giving to it because my friend recommended it. Behind the Curtains. It's literally the cheapest book that I own. It looks like a read, and I already read another book from the author and I liked it, so I want to give it a chance. Crime and Punishment. Fingers crossed it's the full text. Also, this reminds me of Jared Leto. I don't know if you relate. But I had this era where I was learning French, and this is my friend's gift for me to stay motivated. One of the main reasons I was learning French was because of Como, learning his books in the actual language, but I just paused that dream for a while. I also avoided buying his books in my own language. Mad, I need to read it to give it to my friend's mom. I also borrowed this from a friend. Sajjad Afsharian's poems. I needed to get out of the house and I needed an excuse, so I asked my friend to borrow some books, and then he opened his backpack and it felt like 10 books there from different genres, and I picked this because it was the smallest one and I thought I could read it. It's been almost half a year and I haven't. Get hired now. There was this free book giveaway, and all you had to do was send the author's name to some person, and then I won it, and they asked me for the information and they sent this book. Speaking of one book, look at this. This book is called Fathers and Sons. I got recommended by my teacher and it's also a gift. In total, it was 39 books. Let me know which one was your favorite. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you want to stick around to hear me about the reviews of these books, don't forget to subscribe. I also want to know your fun stories about your TBR. I'm sure you have some, and until then, bye for now.